Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, when Uniquely, which was formerly known as Sales Sense, was established in 2006, it was positioned as an outsourced field sales solution provider. Now, as the business has scaled, with a current headcount of over 300 people, Uniquely has extended its service offering to collaborate with enterprise-grade organisations to enhance their operations. The CEO of Uniquely, Gerard Teahon, joins us now to tell us more about this Irish success story. But Gerard, why did you first decide to set up this business over 18 years ago?
I guess, Karl, I always wanted to run my own business from a very young age. I finished college and took a job, first job I got with a car, that was the strategy, and ended up in Aircom. I had 5 very good years there across a number of different roles, door-to-door field sales, corporate account management, working in call centres, ended up being national sales manager there, and then moved to Smart Telecom for a year and felt that, having done that, the opportunity was really rife to set up a business as an outsourcer and support different companies to achieve good sales results.
And what have been the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome over the past 18 years in business?
Oh, look, I think if you look back 18 years ago, we founded in 2006. Timing probably wasn't wonderful. So over the first few years, we probably took plenty of hits in terms of bad debt and clients and partners that, hit hard times. That was a challenge, a real big challenge. I suppose raising finance was a real difficulty when you look back 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago. I suppose we were quite fortunate that we had a business model that allowed us to work with some larger clients, and really we probably changed strategy after taking a few hits and just started to work with blue chip clients, which allowed us, I suppose, comfort and surety that you were going to get paid, gave you comfort around cash flow. I suppose in the end, that's really still pretty much the model we have today, is that we, work with big international clients.
Talk to us about the scale which you've achieved with Uniquely to date.
We're just in around 300 employees now. I suppose we took a bit of a hit during COVID, but we're well over what we were pre-COVID now. We won a customer care contract with Electricity at the end of last year, and we won a really nice piece of business with AIB 2 years ago. So we're in around 300 people. Plenty growth still left in us. We've focused very much in Ireland over the last number of years, doing pieces in the UK or with US companies. And I guess there's opportunity coming up, particularly, I suppose, in the UK for us.
And of course, AI is expected to significantly impact business process outsourcing by transforming how outsourcing companies operate, deliver services and engage with clients. How are you responding to that?
Well, look, AI has been very much a part of our life for several years. It's clearly advanced rapidly over the last 12, 18 months. It's part of what we do. I think within Uniquely, we always talk to our clients about experience uncommon. Very much where the value we add is in our people. Our people are our best asset. Yes, we weave AI through where it's required within processes and where it's better for our clients. But it's our people that are, I suppose, the strength of our business.
Uniquely is a Deloitte best managed company. So how has Uniquely's involvement in that benefited your overall business?
I think every business needs targets. We like to win. As a company, within the whole organisation, it's nice to win awards. The Deloitte Best Managed is a global, I suppose, recognition of best practice. And I guess it has focused us over the years. So, winning it the first year was absolutely huge. I think we're a platinum partner the last 2 years. So it's like any team or, any group, you want to hit a standard. And I guess Deloitte Best Managed has been a really, really great opportunity for us to achieve a standard and to maintain it. I think that has been very important within both the culture of the business to, I suppose, be as good as we can be, but equally to put us on both a national and an international stage in terms of the standard of business capability that we have and will continue to have.
One of the big challenges for business over the years has been recruiting, training, and indeed retaining the right salespeople. Provide us with an insight into how you have achieved this.
Yeah, look, I think this is something that we have worked exceptionally hard on, not over the last 1 or 2 years, but over the last decade. And it's ensuring that we can provide the right value propositions for people that work for us. So, do they have a purpose in coming working with us? What do we deliver to them aside from euros and cents? We invest a huge amount in learning and development, in terms of education within the business, or if they want to go and pursue further education outside of the business. And that's something that we're very passionate about. I think, if you look at, as an employer, what can you provide to, I suppose, properly engage, people talk about Gen X and Gen Z and millennials and everything else, but, it's what can we do different? I suppose in terms of the growth and where we're going, it's to try and keep delivering so that we can maintain a culture that keeps us moving forward, growing and growing in the right way.
And you believe that Irish employers are now faced with an existential dilemma. What is that dilemma?
I think that, either we as Irish employers, put up or we move aside. People, look, there's been massive wage inflation. That is a part of life when you're part of a growing economy. But what are we providing to our staff? So I think if you look at what is being led by the government in terms of pension, that's a necessity now. You're going to have to provide pension to your employees. If you're not, it won't work. Healthcare is an opportunity, but what else are you providing your employees in terms of learning and development? If you develop your employees, yes, there is a cost to it, but what you're getting back after they've achieved another step in education, another step in whatever skill can bring them to the next level. As an employer, you're going to succeed more. You're going to get more engagement from your employee. They're going to deliver more for you. And I think unless we do that, we're in a country now that has hugely successful multinationals that have been providing, this, I suppose, level of care and development for their people. And unless we, provide similar, if not better in some ways, development opportunities, learning opportunities, and simple levels of, I suppose, attractiveness for your employee within the business, I think you're going to lose the race.
What would you say to employers that are listening this morning that are probably talking to the radio right now and saying, that all sounds great, but I'm in a very low margin business. I'd love to be able to invest heavily in my staff, provide them with tickets to go to Man United matches and to concerts in the Tree Arena and to go away for weekends and to invest in their education, but my business doesn't allow me to do it based on the margins and profitability.
It's not something that can be done in total overnight. But you've got to start somewhere. And, it is very difficult when you're in a low margin business, struggling with cash flow. But there are plenty of supports out there, be it from the likes of Enterprise Ireland, if you're an exporting business, but also from our local offices and, your ETBs. And they are often not just opportunities to get your team further educated, but often they may contribute in some way to it as well. So it's not something that you can, I suppose, get everything right from the start, but it's to set, I suppose, a strategy, but equally to create a culture where that learning and development is rewarded, and it can be done in small steps. But I suppose the point that I would make is, if you're not doing it or you're not considering it, well, your employees can't be blamed if they're walking out the door and going to someone that is.
And just on that topic, what would you say to employers listening this morning that would say and have the opinion that if I go and I invest in my staff's education, whether that's in higher or further education, am I ultimately training them, building capacity and capability in them for the next employer?
Yeah, I can't quite remember the quote. I'm going to credit Richard Branson with maybe, but saying, he was asked the question, what if we pay for all this and they leave? And his response was simply, what if we don't and they stay? As in, if you really have to invest in your people, and you've got to trust your people that they will bring you forward. If your employees are more engaged with you as a business, if they trust that you have their best interests at heart, if they trust that they want you to succeed, you to develop, that's a very happy workforce. And of course, look, sometimes the best compliment is when other organizations come in and take your people. It's not always the nicest thing, but if you are providing the right environment for people to develop and to, I suppose, grow, that will help your attractiveness as an organisation as well.
Gerard, with 300 staff, you have a good mix of all age groups working with you, from the Gen X, the Gen Z and the millennials, that there's lots of talk about in terms of what their priorities are in the workplace. But from a real life employer perspective, how do they differ in terms of gaining engagement and commitment and even retaining them? How does that differ between the different age profiles?
They're looking for purpose, which I think, if you key into Google, what they're looking for, I think purpose would be one of the first things. So what are you providing for them? They're looking for not just a standard of living, but a quality of life. So how do you provide that, be it additional holidays? Again, going back to learning and development, and I know I'm like a broken record, but providing them with the opportunity to progress in their careers. And I think that career piece is what's very important to people.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Gerard Teahon, the CEO of Uniquely, and I'd like to thank Gerard for highlighting the benefits which businesses can achieve by investing in the professional development of their staff.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.